the 20% rule and why you need to know it in the midterm rental insurance space. So the 20% rule, there's always all these nice fancy rules or rules of thumbs, and they're very helpful as guides. And the reason why this guide is most helpful for you is what happens when a relocation specialist reaches out to you, or an insurance company, or an adjuster on Airbnb or Furnish Finder or Zillow Rental Manager, any of those spots, right? Your direct website, and they say, hey, we're looking to relocate a family for 3 months. Can you please let us know how much that will cost? That is one of the craziest questions where we just freeze, deer in the headlights. Oh my God, how much am I going to charge? Well, there is a rule of thumb in place. And typically, if a family reaches out personally, or an adjuster reaches out personally, or a relocation specialist reaches out on behalf of the family to relocate them, they are relocating them in this area that's similar to you. So what is the 20% rule anyway? And what does it have to do with me coming up with a price? Well, the thing is, when you're looking to displace a family, when a family is being displaced, their budget is based on what is on their insurance policy, right? And their insurance policy, there's an area called loss of use, also called additional living expense, also called coverage. And that area, that dollar amount, is typically correlated with the home's value. And that amount of loss of use, additional living coverage D, is usually within the range of 20% of the home's value, which then means if someone reaches out to you, whether it's the family, the adjuster, the relocation specialist, and they're asking you for your price, it would not be unreasonable for you to come up with 20% of what your home value is worth. Now, why your home? My home is not the same as their home, correct? But typically, an insurance company is going to want to relocate a family in a like home. So we can start with the neighborhood. If they're reaching out to you, it's because you're within proximity of the neighborhood, right? If they're reaching out to you, it's probably because it's a very similar size bedroom home that they're looking for, right? If you're out there in the databases and you're putting that I'm a 4-bedroom home or a 5-bedroom home, this will happen sometimes, but they're not going to look for a 2-bedroom home. Why? Because you cannot fit a family of 5 into a 2-bedroom home, but you can fit a family of 2 into a 5-bedroom home. More on that later as why we pick a specific asset type when looking to go into the midterm rental insurance space. But for you, the 20% rule will allow you to determine how much money is available for them so that you can reverse engineer and do the math and come up with your number. Simple exercise. Let's do some quick math. You have a $400,000 home. You put times 0.2, you get $80,000 per claim, right? That means per claim, they have that amount that they can use, right? Sometimes it's per year, sometimes it's unlimited. It all depends with the insurance policy holder, right? There's a lot of different ones out there like State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, you name it, Travelers Insurance, there's a lot. So that's why you need to start looking at your insurance policy so you can get a feel of what that number might be. But if it says 80,000, right here, the family's got to relocate for 6 months and you divide that by 6, that's $13,000 that you could charge, right? Now, keep in mind that the insurance company is not going to want to blow up their budget. But it's still important for you to understand those numbers so you know where you're playing. If they're saying it's 9 months, right, which they will typically not say up front how long it's going to be, but you can typically ask the right question, like, is it water damage? Is it a flood? Or is it a fire? Is it, what happened? Just ask them what happened. You might be able to get some intel so that you know if you're playing with an $80,000 budget and they need to rent out or be displaced for the next 12 months, you might be looking at $6,000 a month, right? But again, shoot your shot. You can always shoot high and negotiate below rather than starting low and then negotiate high. That's the most difficult way to do it, right? But at least the 20% rule gives you a baseline of where that family might be. Keep things in mind that whenever there is not enough supply in the marketplace, your price will go up when there is demand. Keep the 20% rule in mind, and if you found any value, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more midterm rental insurance tips. And most importantly, if you're looking for more practical, consolidated list, I do have a midterm rental insurance blueprint that you can get for free on my website at experimentrealestate.com.